In this episode of Throwback Thursday, Madison Quinn shares when the intuitive feeling struck, she knew it was time to move, even at as young at the age of 13. Listen to her story and how she forms her nonprofit.
So in my free time, I would mow some lawns, babysit, collect cans and bottles, save up any penny, and just start sending toys to these kids to make them smile.
Now, this is just all instinctive in you. This is just a feeling so strong that you want to go and nurture these situations. Now, that person's pretty far away. So you progress with this in what way? All online, through Facebook groups and things of this nature? Or do you go out personally, locally, face to face? How do you begin to evolve from this first instinct to move on this?
So it started and it still is, rooted really much in social media. Social media has been a great tool for us to connect with families, whether it be families who are 20 minutes up the road from me or families who are a 7-hour plane ride away. So we still work with families all over the U.S., but once I started to learn that there's families 3 streets over who are affected by this pediatric cancer diagnosis. And I wanted to learn to help them as well. So I did start connecting with the local families through social media or social workers or different palliative hospice teams around me to be able to connect with the families that are closer with me as well. So I still do work with the families all over and the families right in my own backyard.
Well, in the middle of all of this, let's get back to you're a student at Elms College and you're going for your bachelor's of science in nursing. And it's like you've hit the ground running from 13 years old and you're squeezing the education in on the backside. But you're planning on graduation here on the May 2023, and you're prepared, or you said you got a job working as a pediatric nurse at Bay State Pediatrics. So you're going to be able to continue your nonprofit while you're working there as well.
That's the hope. I remember when I started at Elms College 4 years ago, a lot of people told me that I wouldn't be able to manage college, let alone nursing school and running a nonprofit. But there was never really an option for me. I didn't see it as an option of stopping this work. So I'm got an apartment off campus and I'm able to run Strong Little Souls out of a little guest bedroom and work with a lot of the local families. And for the past 4 years, I've been successful in keeping my grades really up there and running this successful nonprofit and connecting with families. It's very strict on time management, but you learn as you go.
Yeah, your desire to help is cultivating your CEO skills right before your eyes. And this is quite commendable to take on the nursing school and the extended education and continue to run your nonprofit. So let's talk a little bit about your nonprofit. What advice would you have for somebody out there who would be considering starting a nonprofit, for starters? And what are some of the obstacles you deal with in the beginning part of that?
Yeah, so some advice I would give to anyone who's looking to start their own nonprofit is just go for it. If this is where you feel you need to be and what you need to do, then do it. I know when I started, I was only 13, so a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people are like, oh, you're only going to be doing this for a couple months and then you're going to get tired of it. Or you're 13-year-old, you can't, you just can't. And I was surrounded by a lot of that when I first got started, but then I was also surrounded by a lot of people who encouraged me. And it's important to surround yourself with the people who are encouraging you or empowering you to keep going and to keep reaching for your goal and to kind of push away those who are doubting you or putting those negative thoughts out there. But being a 13-year-old was kind of the hardest hump I had getting to start the nonprofit. So if you're older than 13, you already got a leg up on me. So you definitely can do some great work.
Well, it sounds like your intuitive was so strong. It was just something that you felt you needed to do. It wasn't the issue of how do I do this? It's like, when do I do this? And you were on it right away. So let me ask you this. You've been doing this for this length of time and you can hear your passion in your voice. What is your favorite part about what it is you do?
Families. The families are the best part of what I do. I've spent a lot of time getting to know a lot of the local families around me throughout Massachusetts. I've met hundreds of families over the past however many years, and that's honestly given me a big push to just keep going, because there's times when it gets hard. It's childhood cancer is heartbreaking. It's devastating. But seeing the families and the siblings and the kids and knowing you're able to make an impact just proves to me that you have to. Because if these kids can go through what they go through every day, the least I can do is just keep running Strong Little Souls, keep helping every family I can. But I'm really able to connect with these families. Strong Little Souls isn't an organization where we just give a family a number, we send them a package, we send them a check, and that's it. A lot of organizations work like that. They'll make a donation and that's it. Like, contact's kind of cut off from there. You received our support, goodbye. Strong Little Souls is very, I'll check in with the families. I'll let them know I'm thinking of them when they're going in for scans 3 months after remission. I'll drop off home-cooked meals to families who've lost a child to cancer. I've decorated homes to welcome kids home after long bone marrow transplants or long hospital stays. We're very personal. And I think that's become my favorite part, is these families don't just think of us as Strong Little Souls. They think of us as friends and people that they know that are always in their corner.
Now, the stories don't always end happy or continue. They eventually stop. So, with this level of personal care that you give, does that take a toll on you as well? Because you're very connected with what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm only human and I feel lost just like others. It's definitely, I think as a 13-year-old was the hardest for me. I don't think I had the tools in my tool bag to learn how to deal with grief. And that was probably the hardest. But over the past years, as you can imagine, I've found new ways to help myself cope, help myself grieve, and help keep my spark and my passion for childhood cancer and helping these families alive, even through the hard times.
Wow. What I want to ask you then is since you're 13, you've grown up with the computer in front of you the whole time. Share with me some of the ways that the internet and working your nonprofit through the online arrangement is helping you, and how do you see yourself growing, beyond where you currently are?
I mean, Strong Little Souls was founded on social media. That's kind of where we were born. That's where we were created. That's where we met our first childhood cancer family. And from there, we've continued to grow. So just the internet in general has been just an incredible tool for getting Strong Little Souls to where it is today. I always say social media is our biggest connector with our donors, with our families we work with supporters, with family and friends. It's just been such a great tool for us to use over the years, and I can't imagine where Strong Little Souls would be without it. But with it, it just seems like the sky's the limit. Every day I feel like I'm meeting another person who will help spread the word about Strong Little Souls, or another company that wants to make a donation, or another partner who wants to donate toys for us to include in the packages. So I feel like every day the internet is able to help us bridge another connection and help us spread the word. And
Well,
in the end, that's all I want.
you have a nice internet presence with the website, and then you've got an Amazon wish list and a Facebook page, and then a Strong Little Souls merchandise store. So you've hit the ground running with your marketing and continuing to grow through social media. So you're coming into a new window of life here with your graduation and starting your work career. And where do you see yourself 3 years from now, as far as your growth, and the arranging of your time to do other things now besides being at school?
Yeah, I mean, I think that once I'm done with school, I'll have a lot more time to be able to focus on Strong Little Souls. There won't be as much time for homework or studying, and there will be more time that I can put into Strong Little Souls. I'm really hoping that as a nurse, I can find myself in a place where I can collaborate with the social workers in the child life and be able to have them utilize Strong Little Souls. When they know there's a child affected by pediatric cancer on the unit, I want them to come to us and be like, hey, we have this family. They need this. They need that. They could really use this. The kid's having their last chemo. Can we get up some party decorations? I really want the social workers in the child life at the hospital I'm at just to be able to find a way to integrate strong little souls into one of the resources that they use for their families. And that's kind of always been my end game. And it's exciting to see that I'm one step closer to that.
In a crazy world out there, it's so heartwarming to know that people like Madison are out there and that they do really care. And it hit her at a very young age, and she is gained momentum with Little Souls, and it's great to see what she's doing with it. If you'd like to hear the rest of her work, listen to the full episode. There's a link at the end of this video. I want to share with you the story behind Leave Your Mark podcast. It was my journey with cancer that made me write my book, Bad Days Are Really Good Days in Disguise. And it was really through that experience of 6-year battle with cancer that I decided to do a few things differently in my life. And I share this with you in the podcast by the stories as well as the guests. I hope you enjoy this book. It gives you a deeper insight at what I'm up to. Thanks, and be blessed.